The afternoon sun bathed the countryside in soft golden light as the train weaved its way through fields of green and gold. Trees lined the tracks, their leaves rustling gently in the breeze, and the occasional farmhouse appeared in the distance. Among the passengers was a 25-year-old young man named Ethan, seated next to the window with an expression of pure wonder on his face. His eyes, wide and bright, scanned the scenery outside as if he were seeing the world for the very first time. "Dad, look!" Ethan's voice rang out, filled with childlike excitement. "The trees are moving. They're going backward." He laughed, pressing his face against the glass like a curious child marveling at a new discovery. His enthusiasm was infectious, the kind of joy so pure it could light up a room. Sitting beside him, his father, Mr. Harrison, smiled warmly. His face was lined with age and experience, but his eyes sparkled with the joy of seeing his son so happy. Ethan's excitement was a gift, and Mr. Harrison soaked in every moment. A few seats away, a young couple sat watching. The man and woman, both in their late 20s, exchanged bemused glances. The boy's animated expressions, his enthusiasm over something as ordinary as trees moving past a train window, struck them as odd. The young woman leaned in closer to her partner and whispered, "Is he okay? He seems a bit different." Before the man could respond, Ethan exclaimed again, his voice even louder this time. "Dad, look, the clouds are following us. They're running with the train." He laughed in delight, clapping his hands as if he had just made the most astonishing discovery. The couple watched with a mixture of curiosity and pity. The young man leaned forward, glancing at Mr. Harrison, and with an air of polite concern, said, "Sir, have you thought about taking him to a doctor? He seems, well, a little too old to be acting like this." Mr. Harrison turned to face them. His smile remained, but now it carried a different emotion, one of quiet pride and understanding. His voice was calm, steady, and full of warmth. "We are just coming from the hospital," Mr. Harrison said softly. "My son was blind from birth. Today, he sees the world for the very first time." The words hung in the air, heavy with meaning. The couple's faces fell, their expressions shifting from pity to shock, and then to deep shame. The woman's eyes widened, glistening with tears, and she pressed a hand to her mouth as if to hold back a sob. The man sat back in his seat, stunned into silence. Ethan, oblivious to the exchange, continued to marvel at the world outside. He pointed to the horizon where the sky met the earth. "Dad, look at the colors. The sky is so blue, and the grass is so green. I never knew everything could be so beautiful." His voice trembled with emotion, as if he were trying to capture every detail and hold on to it forever. Mr. Harrison gently placed a hand on his son's shoulder, his own eyes shining with unshed tears. "Yes, Ethan, it is beautiful," he said, his voice thick with emotion. "And now it's all yours to see." The young couple sat quietly, the earlier judgment in their eyes replaced with admiration and humility. The young woman whispered, "I'm so sorry." But Mr. Harrison only smiled and gave a small nod, as if to say, "There's nothing to forgive." As the train continued its journey, the landscape outside became more vibrant, the fields stretching endlessly under the vast blue sky. But inside the carriage, something more profound had shifted. The couple, who moments earlier had judged the boy, now saw him in a different light. They realized they had witnessed something extraordinary, Not just the wonder of a young man seeing the world for the first time, but the deep love between a father and son. They had seen joy in its purest form, untainted by cynicism, untouched by the need for approval. The moral of the story. Every person carries a story that we cannot see with the naked eye. It's easy to judge others based on surface-level observations, to assume we know what's best for them or how they should behave. But life is rarely as simple as it seems. What looks like immaturity or strangeness on the surface may be something far deeper, something beautiful, something extraordinary. In our fast-paced world, it's easy to forget the importance of wonder and gratitude. Ethan's joy reminds us that the most ordinary things, a tree swaying in the wind, clouds drifting across the sky, can be sources of profound beauty. His story teaches us to cherish the simple moments, to see the world with fresh eyes, and to withhold judgment until we understand the whole truth. The couple learned a valuable lesson that day. Never judge someone without knowing their story. Beneath every outward appearance lies a journey, a struggle, a triumph. The truth, when it is revealed, often surprises us, and it can change the way we see the world and the people in it. As the train sped along, carrying its passengers to their destinations, the young couple no longer looked at Ethan with pity. Instead, they saw him for what he truly was, a young man experiencing the miracle of sight for the first time. And in that moment, they, too, saw the world a little differently.